Welcome back to Follow Up Friday, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 times that the show made me a liar. Welcome back, everybody. So, in my review of The Witchfinders for this week, I made the claim that throughout the history of New Who, generally speaking, the best shows every season came from the showrunner. And I've been mulling about this since I recorded that review, and I'm wondering if it's true. Now, on my second monitor over there, I have a list of Doctor Who episodes with the writers associated with them from Wikipedia. And I'm going to go through season by season and find out, for me, how often the best show in the season was written by someone other than the showrunner. Now, to be clear on this point, I'm going from Wikipedia here, which is based off the on-screen credits. So there are certain episodes which we all know have strong thumbprints of the showrunner, having done script edits for them to be completely unrecognisable from the original version. The most famous one, I think, is probably the Impossible Planet Satan Pit duo, where Russell T Davies actually wrote a good chunk of the script that we saw on screen. But I'm going with purely the screen credits here, so there may be a couple of misses along the way. Now, I've not checked this list beforehand, because I think it's funny just to try and find out live how often the show has made me a liar. And for this, I am going to have to wear my glasses, partly so that I can read my other screen, but mostly in an attempt to keep my hair out of my eyes. I really need a haircut. I think we can all agree that. Anyway, let's crack on. Season 1, I don't need to check the listings for that one. I can tell you right now that the best episodes of Season 1 were the two-parter written by Stephen Moffat, The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, and the season finale written by Russell T Davies, The Parting of the Ways. And I would be hard-pressed to pick a favourite between those two. They're very different shows. I think if I really search my soul, it would have to go to Moffat for the Doctor Dances. It's a personal story. It is clever. It is pitch perfect. And I think there are a few things in Parting of the Ways which just don't quite work. I love Parting of the Ways, I really do. The Bad Wolf thing, he almost gets away with it. But I just don't think it quite lands. So for me, Season 1 makes me a liar. So let's have a look at Season 2. Now, Season 2, we've got some interesting choices on. I am going to check my list here just to remind myself of this. I think the best episodes of Season 2, for my money, are probably... we're getting a lot of season finales, aren't we? I think Doomsday... okay, it is basically an episode of big explosions and then breaking of hearts. Oh, I still think it's probably the best. Girl in the Fireplace, I love Girl in the Fireplace, but not as much as I love Doomsday. The Impossible Planet Satan Pit introduce us to the Ood, which have a fabulous look, and the voice of Sutek doing the devil is also a big win. But actually, I think I'm going to give this one to Russell T for Doomsday. So far, I'm 1-1 on the show proving me a liar. Now, Season 3 is an interesting one because I'm not going to pick the season finale for Season 3. I love the Master. I love John Sims' Master. I love some of the stuff they did in the season finale, but it is clearly not the best episode in that season. For me, the best episode in that season is probably Paul Cornell's Human Nature Family of Blood duo. But Russell T does bring a strong contender in the episode Gridlock. And actually, Utopia does earn a little bit of a mention here as well. But I think Paul Cornell's Human Nature takes it for me. So 2 for 1. They're proving me a liar throughout here. Let's check out season 4. Season 4. Season 4. Yeah. Not. I know lots of people love season 4, and lots of people rate Donna as their favourite companion. I'm not such a big fan. There are some good episodes in there. I like the season finale, again, is quite good. Turn Left is a nice bit of alternate history within the Doctor Who family. Fires of Pompeii is quite nice and an excellent place to steal future important cast members from if you ever need to. But I think the best episode of season 4 for me is Midnight, and that is very definitely Russell T Davies pulling out the writing chops to produce an episode set in a shuttle, minimum set, minimum use of Donna, to we can have the Turn Left being the Doctor Light episode, but it is a barnstorming performance from David Tennant, and that really does take the cake for me. So can't really talk about the specials because they all have at least a credit from Russell T Davies on them. So that brings us to the end of the Davies era and into Stephen Moffat's with the start of season 5 and the arrival of Matt Smith as the Doctor. Now this one's quite a tricky season for me to judge because I am such a fanboy for the 11th hour. It really is. I think I've said this before. Probably my favourite post-regenerative story. Does that match up with the list I did? Let's pretend it does. I love the 11th hour, and it ranks very highly for that season. But it is a season which contains the episode Vincent and the Doctor. And when you have an episode as strong as Vincent and the Doctor in there, the themes and messages in Vincent are so strong. We have such clever little visual gags about references to Van Gogh paintings. I'm still going to give it to the 11th hour. I think Stephen Moffat really hit the ground running with that episode. And while I think there are some brilliant moments and a brilliant message behind Vincent and the Doctor, the 11th hour takes this one for me. Let's move on to season 6. This one, of course, was split when it was originally shown, but I'm treating the whole thing as one entity. I'm not doing a 6A and 6B for my rankings here. I think, just looking through the list here, some cracking episodes in this season. I think the best episode written by someone other than Stephen Moffat has got to go to The Doctor's Wife by Neil Gaiman. Such a clever, dark, twisted, interesting story. And the part played by the TARDIS in this is just magnificent. And there's that voice of Sutek again. I think that's the best episode not written by Moffat in this season. The best episode written by Moffat? Do you know, I think for its impact at the time, I think perhaps it loses some of that impact having had it around for a few years. But for the impact at the time, the standout episode in this season for me from Moffat is probably A Good Man Goes to War. It is such a roller coaster emotion, so many good moments, so many dark moments, so many, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. And a very interesting structure. And the Rory moment at the start of the episode, the start of the teaser for the episode, is just spectacular. Of those two, which do I prefer? I think I would have to give it to the Doctor's wife. I'm making myself a liar, but I think much as A Good Man Goes to War was such a strong episode at the time, I think the one with the rewatch value, the one which I can watch again and again and again, is The Doctor's Wife. It is a really strong episode. Right, need to speed this up a bit. This is going a lot longer than I expected. Let's look at Season 7 very quickly. Season 7, if I were to count the Christmas special, The Snowmen, it might go to that. But I think the best episode written by Moffat is The Name of the Doctor. In that season, all the stuff at the end with the Paternoster gang, however you feel about them, really interesting and really well done. The bit between River and the Doctor is great, and the reveal of John Hurt was a real surprise ending. A strong episode for me, and probably the strongest of Season 7. Of the ones not written by Moffat, I guess Hyde by Neil Cross might be my favourite, but actually it's not a strong field. A couple of episodes by Chibnall in there, neither of them troubled the top spot for that season. Moving on to Season 8 and the arrival of Peter Capaldi as Doctor Number 12. My favourite of this season is not a Moffat episode, I'll tell you that right now, because it is Mummy on the Orient Express by Jamie Matheson. I think it's a fantastic episode, really creepy, really clever, and Capaldi really getting to shine for, I think, the first time in that season. It's when I really fell in love with Capaldi as the Doctor. As for episodes written by Moffat, I think the first part of the season finale, Dark Water, is really, really strong. It's not as good as Mummy on the Orient Express, but that is my favourite of the Moffat episodes for that season. Trying to speed things up, on to Season 9. Actually, that's quite a difficult one. Most of the episodes in Season 9 have at least a partial credit for Stephen Moffat, meaning my only real choice for non-Moffat episodes are probably Under the Lake and Before the Flood by Toby Whithouse. Actually, quite a strong story. I do like that two-parter. Really, really good, solid Who. But I think the strongest episode by a country mile in Season 9 is Heaven Sent, the really kind of puzzle box episode with Capaldi by himself being stalked by a monster he doesn't understand and trying to find a way out and taking 4 billion years to do it. Really love Heaven Sent. And finally, Season 10. Let's have a quick look at this one. I'm a big fan of Season 10, I have to say. I think Bill made a big change to the series, and strong addition. And actually Nardole, much to my surprise, I really enjoyed him as well. I think the best Moffat episode in there is probably World Enough and Time. I think the whole kind of story of the birth of the Cybermen on this spaceship is really strong, and again beats out the season finale, Doctor Falls, by a margin. I actually quite like the Doctor Falls. It would have been stronger if the Doctor had regenerated at the end of it, as was originally the plan, instead of having Twice Upon a Time. So yeah, that's the best Moffat episode. The best non-Moffat episode is probably... Oh look, it's Jamie Matheson again with Oxygen. Oh, Jamie Matheson's a good writer. Yeah, Oxygen is probably my favourite, not by Moffat, but I think this one is a Moffat episode again. And there we go. I think at the end of all that, we've proved pretty much conclusively that there were episodes of Doctor Who in those 10 seasons. I don't think we really proved anything really, but it was quite a fun little look back for me at the best episodes of those 10 seasons. It is true that the showrunners tend just about to produce the best episodes of the season, but I don't think it's necessarily true that when the season's best show is not by the showrunner, you have a bad season. Because actually looking at a few of those episodes, it really was a close call as to which way the coin toss went. Still, I think it is true that Chibnall still has a game to raise. And I think we still are waiting in season 11. I am still waiting in season 11 for a really stand out, knock it out of the park. I don't think there's been one yet. There's basically this season of season 11, still waiting for that one to really knock my socks off. Anyway, if you've made it this far through the video, thank you very, very much for watching. You are a star and my hero. If you agree or disagree with my ratings of the best episodes in each season, why not leave me a comment? We've had a few people commenting in recent videos, and I've been enjoying interacting with people as a result. If you'd like to subscribe, there is a button for that. If you want to check out more about me and Doctor Who, there's a thing there, and more as me as a writer, there is a thing there. Thank you for watching. I will be back next week with more Doctor Who content. Cheers.